Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show today. This is Night Owls, and what is the date today? I think it's like the third or fourth. No, it's the fourth week of March, Thundero. Damn, dude, time is flying, man.
It is. It is, in fact, flying.
It
And it
is.
is good to see because spring is officially here as of
It is.
today. It
Yeah.
was 70 degrees outside, not a cloud in the sky. Actually, we need some clouds because that grass out there is dead.
Oh
Needs to get
wow.
some rain.
Yeah, that's
But,
not good.
yeah, it was a beautiful day. It was just felt good. Spring just feels good.
It
When it
does.
just shows up after winter, especially winters around here, and it's just rejuvenating.
Yep, no, that's fair point. That's exactly what spring does. We definitely had the warm weather coming in as well, and we've had a very rainy weekend though. The sun is blaringly bright today, where I can't see nothing. However,
Well, that's fun.
yeah, well, that's one of the tough things about being a light-eyed white boy. You know,
Yeah.
no one ever talks about our problems, do they? Huh?
No, we don't. We're not allowed to have those, Chester.
No,
You
we're
see,
not
our
allowed.
ancestors conquered the world, so we can't ever have a problem. It's not allowed.
That's fair. That is fair, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to get into that a little bit today. How ironic that he knew that. It's shocking. Um, but I just went and shared this out on Facebook. Twitter is no longer existing, I guess. But if you guys share that out, it would be certainly appreciated. Hit that like button and join us if you haven't done it already. I know Booster's all excited about it hitting 1,000, and his excitement makes him drowsy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
So
sleepy boy.
he is a sleepy boy. It's okay. Hey, Roger. Yeah, no. We have the weather has certainly lightened quite a bit. And I did go out this weekend and I bought pickles. I had to get pickles. It was a pickle run weekend.
Pickles.
Yeah, I like
Pickles are
pickles.
great.
Yeah, pickles are
Me too,
awesome.
but I don't like too much pickles. So a problem that we have over here is if you ask for pickles, for some reason people here you want an entire pickle on your burger or your sandwich.
Huh?
No, I just a few pickles,
A couple of
please.
pickles.
I would like to taste the other things besides just pickle when I'm
That's
eating
fair.
it.
That is the way it should be. But no, you know what I do? When I feel peckish and I want me a snack, I just go to the refrigerator, I take out the pickle jar, and I have one or two. That's just my snack food, really.
Good snack.
Yeah, well, it is. It's got that vegetable matter in there, a little bit of fiber, and it's got that
Very,
very.
very low, if any, calories. It's all good.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. It's a good snack too. It kind of cuts that edge off.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Better than reaching for a cookie, because cookies and me, we have a treaty going on currently.
See, luckily I don't have that sweet tooth, except for like once every so often.
Oh
I'll
no, I
just
do.
be like, I want ice cream, I want cookies, sometimes cake, and then I'm fine for months. I won't want any of that. Even look, I'm just like, nah, no thanks. It just doesn't even appeal to me. But then occasionally, I'll get some cookies, and it's just gone in a couple days. The whole package of cookies,
Yeah,
because I just go on a
exactly.
cookie binge.
Well, you know what I do? I do treat myself once a month. There is a snack over here in Japan that is like crack to me.
Uh oh.
It's basically it's effectively a peanut brittle. If you took a peanut brittle and you took like a little spicy cracker and you put it into the peanut brittle and you put them into a log shape, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
it's deadly,
Uh
dude.
oh.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
that's not good for me, you see. So
I will say this: the Japanese are very clever with their food.
they are, they are,
They're clever people.
they are. But most of the food they have today that people think are Japanese aren't even Japanese food. They're just Western things that the Japanese have adapted. They're really good at
Yeah,
adaptation, actually. That's
they
their
are.
that's their strength, man. Uh, you know,
It's what's made them the third most powerful financially, anyway, country on the planet, and would be number two if it wasn't for American politicians and the elites, quote unquote, over here deciding that China just needs to be wealthy for some reason, and we just send all the money over there.
well,
But
it's slave labor, you know.
yeah,
Yeah. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Dave
While
says
calling everyone else racists. Yeah, it's great.
exactly, of course, yeah. Slay, I don't know the tune this should go to. I'll just make it up. I don't want a pickle. I just want to ride my motorcycle. No, I don't think that's it. That's probably not what he
I
had
need
in
a
mind.
motorcycle. I've never
Yeah,
owned one, but I'd like to have one.
I haven't ridden a motorcycle in almost 30 years, I'd say. 28 years.
Oh, I haven't been on one in about 15 years.
Yeah.
Been
Well,
a
I mean,
while.
it's kind of a single young man thing to do, or an old man who wants to waste money on a Harley Davidson and throw
Yeah,
$20,000 down the drain. That's kind
yeah.
of where it sits, and I haven't got to the $20,000 Harley yet. I guess I'm approaching it.
You're not
Uh,
at that level of midlife crisis. Is
no,
that what you're
no,
telling me?
no, no. I just went and bought myself a Civic, so you know. I am, excuse me. I am
Just don't
loving that.
die.
Oh no, no. I am loving that car though, dude. It is. Yeah, I'm really impressed. I'm a gearhead or a
Hmm.
petrol head for our friends across the pond there, and I've had lots of cars. I've had many cars, and a lot mainly performance type cars, sports cars, rally cars, things like that. And this is a strange thing for me to say because I've actually owned Daytonas and Cobras and things like that. I've actually owned these cars. And this damn Civic is the best driving car I've ever had.
Nice.
It's insane. How can that be true? I don't know.
They, like you said, they learn. They
They do,
adapt
dude.
very quickly,
Yeah.
which is good because I like Japan. I like Japan almost as much as I like America. So I'm glad that they're doing well.
Yeah, so am I. But I'm just impressed with the car, really. But nevertheless, we do have a bit of a tight schedule today, so we're not going to sit chit chat for 30 minutes like we usually do. We're going to get right into the news,
Let's do
unless
it.
there's something you want to specifically cover.
Not off the top of my head. I'm sure. I have a sneaking suspicion we're
Mhm.
going to get to it all.
Yeah, maybe. I do tend to be fairly thorough a little bit. Yeah. But
Yeah, one
anyway, I'll
sec
share this
here.
up here so that Thundero and anybody else who comes in can see. And yeah, let's get this back up here and let's get into it. All right. So, you guys know I love starting out with board game news. It's something that's important to me, and I
Ooh,
want to share my love of it with you guys. And today I thought I would just take a look at a board game news site. This is called Tabletop Gaming News, TGN. Okay. They got a little D20 dice up there, and somebody's put, I don't know who's behind this. I have no clue. But I just thought I would look at their headlines real quick and see what's the hot topic today. Power Rangers, which is kicking butt in the comic book world, they got themselves a new board game with that great art on it. That looks
it
nice.
is good art. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's clean.
it is good. Yeah, and it's well written as well. I thought this was interesting. This is from Z-Man Games, which is another one of those big board game companies. I've mentioned Osmodee and WizKids, and there's all kind of ones, but Z-Man Games is certainly one of those. Run and owned by an American guy. Go figure, right?
Huh.
Yeah, because it's usually dominated by the Europeans. But I thought this little picture here was more interesting. This type of card here that allows you to track resources or maybe track your own character or whatever has become very popular. You see, you got little slots where you put your cards in. You got little places you put your resource cubes. This is actually seems to be a some kind of fighting game or something like that. But I like this card idea they've came up with. It's building up your area instead of just having a bunch of cards in front of you. It's just interesting. It's just a little card. It's not hard to make. It's a clever little addition. Your WizKids has got a new Jinja game coming out. No clue what that is. Stellaris has got a board game coming out. It's kind of interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sonic the card game. All right. I'm assuming it's going to be some kind of deck builder or something in Pokemon vein, maybe.
Could
And
be. Could
Steam
be.
Forge Games. All right, they're a good company. Oh, very good. So we got Sonic. Malifaux third edition. Now I actually have the first edition of this game. It's a pretty
Hmm.
fun game actually. I got a spin-off on it too. Let's see, Scott Pilgrim. I didn't see that. We don't need to talk about that. Cultivate. That's your generation, isn't it?
What, Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And
No,
it ruined an entire generation of young women.
it
It's a
seemed
shame.
to. Yeah. Brie Larson was part of that infection.
Mm.
I don't know what this game is. It looks like a small little hand box thing, but the meeples are kind of interesting. Now, I know you guys probably know this, but meeples are little wooden pieces you use to represent your workers or what have you. These are kind of cute looking ideas they come up with here. A little different. It's kind of nice. Um, oh, look at these. They get these are some great old games. There's looks like they're bringing back. Nice. Matt, we talked about this one. Zombicide. Oh my. They're coming out with wow, they have a whole new scenario coming out for Zombicide. This is second edition. My God. Now, Zombicide is a board game where you actually have a board, and it's one of those games that mixes tabletop wargaming with board gaming, right? And you're fighting zombies. And this was back when the zombie craze was just hitting and everyone was crazy about it. This was one of the most mammoth games I ever seen. I mean, my God, the board gaming world went insane. And these guys, this is Simon or Cool Mini or not, they made I can't even imagine how many millions they made off of this dude. And now they're coming out with second edition. Man. But anyway, so as you can see, there are a lot going on in the board gaming world, which is why I wanted to put it up here. Clank in Space. Clank is a great game series, man. That's awesome fun. You're basically moving through the original Clank. You're moving through a dungeon, and as you do things, you're creating noise. And ultimately, if the noise gets too high, it will get too high, and it will awake the dragon. And then you have to run. So basically, what you're doing is going into the dungeon, being as quiet as you can, trying to get as much treasure as you can before the dragon wakes up, and get out before it eats you. It's fun. But look at all this great news and all these great games coming out. Board gaming's fun, dude. You know the good thing about it? It's almost I'd say 70% untouched from SJWs.
Almost.
So about 70%. They're a little bit of it, but it's not so much noise. But anyway, I just want to share that and let you guys know that there are actual, uh, you know, uh, gaming sites for board games. Here's one, and there are others. Of course, you got Board Game Geek and stuff like that. So maybe check it out. Maybe you'll see something that's interesting to you. Now we got a bunch of people in here. Jeff Potts is in here as well. We got Arlene. Hello, Arlene. We got Dillard. This game looks confusing and obnoxious. How dare you? Well, thank you very much, John. Um, Roger says, so Chester, are you going to talk about how the University of Columbia are having separate graduations for each race that is attending their school, and a graduation for poor students too? Well, I'm going to kind of cover it in general. I'm not going to talk about that specifically, but you'll see. But yeah, idiots, segregation. Well, we had a big hoo ha ha about that back in the '60s, I believe, Thunder.
Yeah. A little bit of a rigmarole, if you will.
Yeah, something.
That's okay. You know, I figured it'd come back one day.
Well, the civil rights movement and all that kind of. Well, didn't we have an amendment against this or something? I seem to remember some kind of amendment. I
Yeah.
think it's a law now, like constitutional one. You're not allowed to do that.
Unfortunately, one side of this country, well, not even a whole side, about a third of it, and all of the corporations, for some reason, have decided that they love communism. They
Hmm.
just, they love it. They're
Hmm.
big fans. As long as it's not imposed on them, right? They love it for everybody else.
Well,
Um,
let's send them to China
so,
then.
oh, but most of them are there. So they impose this racial communism or
Hmm.
gender communism. That's
Hmm.
all it is. I mean,
Hmm.
that's what it is on everybody else. And in this pursuit, their fervent zeal for their new religion, their new dogma of equity,
Hmm.
they will literally force people separate.
Yeah, because those
They'll
black
do anything
folks,
for it.
those sacred cows that are the black folk, they don't need to be in the presence of white folk. They don't need that. That's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. And we're going to see that this thought is becoming universal. We'll get to it in a moment. Let's move on though. This was sent to me by Adrian, Mr. Miracle, for those of you on Discord. And yeah, this is a great little bit of news. Thank you, Adrian. Want to read that?
Conservatives are angry, are they, about a gay Captain America, but didn't voice the same outrage when he was a Nazi. What?
Yeah,
I remember lots and
lots,
lots, and
lots.
continuing burning in my heart,
Yeah,
lots
lots.
of outrage
Yeah,
at Nazi Cap.
yeah. Many mountains level of it. Matter of fact, there was far more outrage about Captain America being turned into a Hydra agent, therefore a Nazi, than the everyone kind of chuckling at the train jumping gay boy version of Captain
I
America.
can't believe they called the Captain America of the Fred line.
It is, dude. It is.
It's like a parody of a parody. It's so good.
Yeah. Well, they insult themselves constantly with what they do, right?
They do.
And this is not
It
from
has.
nowhere.
You would
This is
think it
the
was
Independent.
intentional.
I don't know. Is it? I think it's just stupidity. We've been seeing more, and that's why I kind of titled this today "Night of Howls on Hollywood's Dipshittedness." You like the
Yeah,
way I put that together? I made a word.
it's
I'm like,
good. Good word.
yeah, I'm like that black boxing promoter. What's his name? Don something.
Don King.
Don King. Yeah, I'm making up words like Don King, man. I'm getting awesome. That's pretty cool. Um, No, you didn't. You didn't say nothing. You were silent. Now accept the gaslighting so we can destroy you. Nazi! Thank you, Joe. Uh, but of course, this is ridiculous. I haven't seen much outrage about the gay Captain America because, from our point of view, it's a joke. We all kind of had a laugh at it. Yeah, whatever. Go for it. But
Yeah, you have fun.
yeah, you have fun. But Captain America Hydra agent, that pissed people off pretty bad, dude. But whatever. Independent. You go. You do you. Are you ready? We're about to bite into a pretty big apple.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Olivia Munn calls for Cherokee County Sheriff's Office captain to be fired for racism in wake of Atlanta area spa shootings.
Okay.
What?
Well, now Olivia Munn. I know you probably don't know much about her. She's cute. She's like half Vietnamese or something, and she had herself a weekend. She went on had her interview on the MSNBC for some reason, and she just was chatting it up with a lot of people. And she had one of those kind of spurging out weekends, right? And she made some
Mm,
comments. We got a couple of articles here on Miss Munn. So this right here, if you guys remember, the Atlanta stabbings or shootings, I think it was shootings, and the immediate politicians jumping on the racism when they came out and announced that the investigation is showing it had nothing to do with racism. These were massage parlors, literally sex parlors, is what it sounds like they are, the Asian style of brothel, which you can find in certain cities. And this young white man had gone to several of them, and he was frustrated somehow, and he decided he was just going to murder people. You know, Man, that's what it is. Had nothing to do with being Asians. It was more about them being some men or a prostitute. But whatever,
mm.
call it racism. Good enough. And but during that, the sheriff who was giving up announcements, he gave the statement, and of course, he didn't talk to the boy. He's just the chief, and his investigators were doing that, and he was relaying the report they gave to him. He didn't talk to him directly, and he just reported that what the guy had done. And let's go to there she is, if you guys remember her from. She's kind of sexy, but she dumb. She pretty dumb. Here we go. Yesterday was a really bad day for him, and that is what he did. And yeah, I'd say that's probably true. He had a bad day and he went and killed a bunch of people. But they didn't like the way he put it. They felt that he was defending the kid, and I don't see how. He just was simply saying what evidence they had, and he was answering the questions directly. But they didn't like it, of course, because it's not a white guy killing Asians. It's not a racist driven crime. It's just a horrible murder spree, right?
Well, they've also conveniently the media and social media have completely erased the two white women who were shot and killed
Yeah, well, yeah,
because
that
their lives don't matter.
that's right.
Only the Asian people's do, apparently.
Yeah. But whatever. So the cop was just relaying information, whatever. But then it got deeper, you see, because it's not just that they don't like what he was saying, which, all he was doing was reporting what it was. His name's Jay Baker, by the way. He's like a chief, and he'd put this up like almost a year ago, I guess. And COVID-19 imported virus from China, which is
I
funny.
mean,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
true. Yeah,
that's
but
where
that's
it's from.
racist, you see. That's racist
Uh,
to dare say
well,
where it's
I
from.
mean, I'm more offended for the wrestler China because he spelled it like her name, and
Yeah,
she's dead.
and she is dead. She went and died from like drugs or something, dude.
Yeah,
Uh, rock star life. What do you got to do? But it's the strangest thing for us to name something after where it comes from. Like West Nile or Ebola or Spanish flu. It's just we don't do that. You don't do that. You don't say
no,
where
never.
something's from. Never.
Never.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
never.
It's not
That never
allowed. It's
happens.
actually evil, and
Yeah,
anybody who does should die.
that's
That's
right.
that's where
That's
we're
right.
at now. Yeah.
Yeah, I personally, I always kind of preferred the Wuhan flu. I thought that
Yeah.
was better
I
anyway.
like I like the kung flu. I think
Yeah,
that's a
Kung
good
Flu.
play
That
on
was a good
words.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now that you could argue has a little bit more racism in it, actually, if you really wanted to. Whereas an imported virus from China, just making fun of the way Trump says it, you could even this could even be a shirt made by pro Democrats, progressives, not anti
Yeah.
Trumps. It could be right. It's not though. He's just making having fun with it. And Munn just went on a spurg and decided that he's a racist and he needs to be removed. How is this guy still a cop? How is it possible? Still haven't seen the racism though, but she did. And she went on a spurg and a whole bunch of other people as well. And you know what Atlanta did? Do you know what Atlanta did? They took him off the case.
Of course they did. It's Atlanta.
Yeah, go figure. He literally
He's
did
lucky.
nothing.
He's lucky they didn't have a bunch of people go kill him. To be honest, in Atlanta,
Yeah,
I don't know. And I'm being completely honest. I don't know why any white person would live in Atlanta or around it. Get away from Atlanta. Get out of it.
yeah.
You're not welcome there, and you should know that by now.
Well, it is
Get
a
out of all the
city.
major cities. In fact.
It is the city controlled by American blacks. That is
Yeah.
one of those cities. It certainly is.
And it's not
The
just American
leadership, the
blacks,
police, everything.
it's the super woke Democrat puppet blacks that are in control of that city. And they
Yeah,
have been
well,
for a long time, and it's not going to get any better. You're not going to vote your way out of it, so just leave it. Let them have it. It's over. It's done. Who cares? Who really wants Atlanta? I don't want Atlanta. It's all yours. Enjoy the shithole you live in.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Baltimore or Detroit or Chicago. Those places
Yeah,
have
all
gotten
yours.
quite bad. They've gotten really bad. Yeah. But anyway, so she's upset about I don't know what, but she's upset about something because I read the whole article myself. I just kind of relayed the general information to you, and I don't understand what he did wrong. He relayed information. He made a joke a year ago about where a virus had come from, and he was
I can.
basically
It's real
talking about
simple.
Trump's
He's the wrong
president.
skin color.
Yeah,
That's the big one. He dares to be a white man.
yeah,
And two, he won't label it a hate crime because it's literally not a hate crime. He had no motivation that was based on racial hatred or anything like that. It was just he was really disturbed as a person, a
yeah.
really disturbed
It's a
individual.
it's a sad event.
And like the guy said, in his mental delusion or whatever you want to call it, insanity, I guess, he had a bad day and snapped and went and killed a bunch of people. That's
Yeah,
literally what happened. He
that's
just
literally what
described it,
happened.
but
Yeah,
because he didn't do it emotionally enough and condemn the man and call him some sort of ist or phobe or some other evil sinner, they're not happy.
well, he made it very clear that he was reporting what the investigators had report to him. He hadn't spoken to the kid. He was just simply relaying information as they asked him questions, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, no, of course you're right. Lots of interesting little comments here in the chat. She was funny on Attack of the Show. I've never seen that. I think that this is a distraction for Biden to collect our guns. Well, Roger, they're going to try. They're already trying to
Oh,
put like a
I want him to
tax in.
try.
Well,
Please.
they want to put that tax on, and they want you to have to say not only exactly what guns you have, where you keep them in your house.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
just
Good
brilliant,
luck.
genius. Um,
Good luck.
yeah, well, it says, remember when
Make
you
all the
beat us, John?
unenforceable laws you want. Make all the unenforceable laws you want. I'm going to ignore every single one of them, and they can come sit on the edge of this penis and spin, because they ain't getting none of that information out of me. They want to throw me in prison over it? Good luck.
Well, you're going to
That's all
have
you
some
can say to
serious
them.
pushback on that, dude.
Uh, for resisting tyranny? I hope not. I hope I have a lot of Americans agreeing with me.
So do
Millions,
I.
in
Yeah.
fact.
John says, poor white people. Olivia Munn is more powerful than an entire police department. Yep. There you go, dude. I said she had a day, right? It wasn't just this. She had something else. You want to see? You want to see what it is? Go ahead. There it is.
X-Men Apocalypse star Olivia Munn claims white people should not direct black stories, Asian stories. Oh, jeez. She's completely swallowed the fucking woke pill, huh?
Oh yeah, big
I'm not
time.
even saying the last one because it's the most ridiculous non-language bullshit in the history of words.
Yeah, the Latins don't even like it.
X's do not replace uh, vowels ever.
No, no, they
They just
don't.
don't do it.
It's non-grammatical. I would know.
Yeah,
I'm a teacher.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's preposterous. It should be, and I think it is for most of them, insulting to Latino. That's what they're called, people, or you could just call them Latin people if you don't want to gender it. And it's just stupid. It's like when they tried to do it with women too. Have you seen that where they take the A out and they just put an
Yeah, yeah,
X?
yeah, yeah. I saw it. Yeah, yeah, dumbasses. Well,
What are they? What are they? Superheroes? What's going on?
well, the most offending part of this title for me is X-Men Apocalypse Star. Really? She was in
Yeah.
like 90 seconds of the movie. What are you talking about? She wasn't a star, nothing.
You can say whatever the fuck you want. They're not getting my guns, and they're not getting anybody in my family's guns. If they have to put bullets in me to get them, then so be it.
Yeah, no,
It's that
that's
simple.
they've been trying that for a long
I
time. They
understand
failed.
you're a coward, John, and you'll kneel down and suck the little dick of Biden all
Oh,
you
oh,
want, but
oh,
I
oh,
won't.
oh. Fighting words, John.
Well,
No,
that's
they
what he
won't.
wanted. He kept poking the bear. I
He
guess
did,
that's what
yeah.
he gets.
Fair enough. K Blonde is here. Hey, K Blonde. I'm gonna deft this woman because she used that racial slur. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the modern young folks talk there, K Blonde, but you do what you do.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
think Latinx sounds far more racist than just calling somebody Latino or Latina.
yeah. I know the Latinos don't like it very much. If white creators don't include minorities, they're racist. But if they do, they're racist. Catch 22. Yeah, that's the whole point. But let's get to
Correct.
the headline here. Let's talk about this a little bit. The article goes on, and she just giving her reasons, and you know what it really comes down to. She was very upset because of her Vietnamese heritage. She hasn't been able to play parts in period pieces, which sounds like she tried out for one and it didn't get accepted. But yeah, here's the thing: if it's a period piece set in, well, I don't know, say London or the West or something like that, you're really limited in what role you're going to be able to play anyway. You're gonna have to be China Woman something, right? I mean, in a period piece, that's about the only kind of Asian anyone had any influence or interaction with were the Chinese, and it was quite rare. So she's upset that she can't be a white girl in a period piece, is what it really comes down to, which is dumb. But more importantly, let's take a pause on this calling for all stories that are not white to not be touched by white directors, producers, things like that. What movies are we going to lose? Let's create a little mini list, if you don't mind, Thundero. I'll start off. The Color Purple.
Hmm.
Well, what's another big one we'd lose if we didn't? White people weren't
Mm,
allowed to tell non-white stories.
uh, pretty much anything made before 1980.
Uh huh.
Um, trying to think. Be honest, I don't know because I'm the wrong person to ask because I just don't care about directors. Just
Well, I
don't
mean,
care. Does it like I'm not going to be sold by a movie because a certain director made it. I will, if a director's good, I will get maybe more interested in it. But if the movie's garbage, it's garbage. Doesn't matter who made it. Spielberg's made garbage movies, and he's made fantastic movies.
Yeah, well,
It
there's
just
a
is what
huge
it is.
list, just so you know.
Yeah.
Spielberg, speaking of one, Amistad, Anthony Hopkins, and I can't remember that Chieta Ford, whatever that black guy's name is in it. He's really good though. Of course, there's one. How about the Last Emperor? Oh, that was a big one.
Mm.
There's a huge list of them actually, and all those movies would have never got made. Oh, Oprah would have never had a career. Okay, let's do it then. I found a reason for us to not do it. More Oprahs.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
That would
Okay,
be
I
that
agree
would
with
just be
Olivia now.
tragic if there was less Oprahs, right?
Yeah, my God,
Oh.
what a nasty
Oh.
piece of work she turned out to be, huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Whoopi. A lot of people talk more about Whoopi than Oprah. Whoopi has a big mouth, but it's just her opinion though, and that's about as far as it seems to go. Whereas Oprah, she throws her money and weight around, dude. I mean, she does. She's been attached to many nefarious things. And of course, one that you guys might have understanding of what she did with that. Oh, was that pretty funny? Black comedian disappeared for a while, came back, and is hitting it hard again. What's his name?
Uh, I don't know. There's that's a couple different guys that could be.
Starts with a C. He's pretty popular.
Chappelle,
Chappelle, Dave
Dave
Chappelle.
Chappelle.
There it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now Dave was, I don't know, Saturday Night Live or someone like that, and he was basically mocking the black community because of drug abuse, single motherhood, things like that in his comedy. He was tearing it up. He was super popular, and he was going after the black community for their bullshit. And it sounds like Oprah and her little cabal went after him, told you can't do that, you can't make fun of black people, and he said, probably screw off or something like that. And they destroyed his career. He had to go into hiding. His family was threatened. It was pretty bad. He disappeared. He came back.
Hmm.
He's successful again. But if you notice, he's different. Now he's all like, Black Lives Matter. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
because he swallowed that pill.
They got him in line.
They got him in
They
line.
got him in line.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this
Oh
is
boy.
dumb, Olivia. You're
Yeah.
dumb.
She's dumb. She's not a smart person. She's
What do you mean
pretty,
not?
but that's about it.
Oh, she's cute. That's for damn sure, dude. She's very cute. But she peaked way too late though. Because her age is starting to hammer on her, unfortunately. But and really, if you read the article and listen to her, she's really upset about her own personal things, and that's what it really comes down to. A lot of these people, it's selfishness, dude. It's all about me, 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 me. They have no ability to think about the other, even though they keep
Hmm.
screaming about the other all the time. In truth, they don't have that function in their brain. They're not like a normal person who has, what's that word? Starts with a C. Oh, compassion. That one.
Yeah.
They don't have none
Yeah.
of that. They
Does
don't.
help.
It does. It's kind of a necessity. If you don't have that, you're not going to function in society really well, dude. Tolerance is a thing,
Sadly.
you know.
Sadly. Well, I disagree. I don't think tolerance is important, but not actively trying to harm people is important.
Yeah, well, I
And what
didn't say
she's doing
acceptance.
here is
I
all
said
right. What she's
tolerance.
doing here is quite literally actively harming people.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't I'm not. I don't think we should tolerate. I think tolerance is what leads to things like what John's saying. People are way too tolerant. Way too tolerant. If things piss you off and you hate them, you shouldn't tolerate them. You should be very loud and maybe violent if necessary to resist them.
Yeah, but see,
Just
I
that
can
simple.
I can tolerate foreigners, and the band Foreigner, I can tolerate them. Um,
Yeah, but I would hope nobody hates foreign the band Foreigner especially enough to be like vociferously angry at their existence.
no,
But
well,
certain things they should be. Like, would you say we should tolerate child pornography existing?
nope.
There you go. Everybody has a limit. Tolerance has its limit. It's
Oh
not a
yeah, of
virtue.
course it has a
Virtue
limit.
has no limits.
I'm talking about sensible tolerance. I mean, there's certain things we don't accept, right? But tolerance and my point is simply that tolerance and acceptance are very different things, and progressives don't understand that at all. They have no comprehension of the difference between the understanding. Like a lot of people. Now, me personally, I grew up in the entertainment industry, and I've been around a lot of, say, homosexuals. I don't
Mm,
really care. I don't have an opinion per se until you
hmm
get me to like homosexual adoption. And then I have an opinion because the evidence shows very clearly that you increase the child's chances being homosexual greatly, right?
Yeah.
That's what the evidence shows. So now
We
do have an
also
opinion.
expose them to a much higher chance of being molested too, but we're not allowed to talk about that.
Well, that's fair. So I mean,
Mm.
there's a point in the conversation I do have an opinion. Then there's the point that I don't have a conversation, an opinion, because I don't really care who anyone sleeps with. It's not my business. But however, here's the thing. For me, I don't mind homosexuals being homosexuals. A lot of people do, but yet, under some basic circumstances of them being with each other, we should be able to tolerate that,
Yeah.
right? So that's my point that I'm trying to make. Even if it's something you don't like, if it's not hurting anyone, you should try to tolerate it. That's what we should be doing as a civilized modern society. Yeah, but
I
they don't
disagree
believe that.
wholeheartedly, but it's not worth the argument.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. But she had herself quite the weekend. And this kind of goes in with what the chat was saying earlier of this just full on frontal attack of white people, white men in particular. It's this continuous cacophony of opinion. And here's the thing, this is something that maybe you don't agree with me, Thunder. I don't know. But I understand that we have a right to an opinion as an American and
Mm.
as a living human. How about that? Let's just say that as a human being, you have a right to opinion. I understand that concept, and I will bow to it. But the thing is, the truth is, you have to earn an opinion. It's an earned thing. It's not just
Yeah,
something you can spew and vomit out of your mouth, right? You have to educate yourself on shit. You know what I mean?
I
And
agree.
they don't
Yeah,
educate themselves on anything. They don't do any research. They have no knowledge. They have no understanding whatsoever. She came out and blurted this out because she was mad because she didn't get a part she wanted in some period piece. And now she's disparaged every director who has ever made anything that wasn't white. And she doesn't even understand the history of Hollywood, which she's supposedly part of, because that would tear down so many great movies that displayed other cultures, which is supposed to be the point of diversity, is it not?
mm, mm,
Dumbass.
yeah. No, these people are insufferable. They're communists, and they don't even know it. Most of them. They're just useful idiots for the people trying to literally enslave them to a neo feudalism where they will own nothing and they will be happy.
Yeah, you're right, Arlene. She is. The chat's having a good old chat over there without us, dude. It's pretty nice, dude.
Yeah.
They're going at it. You guys go. And I agree. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Oh my God. Go ahead.
Rumors: Swamp Thing to join J.J. Abrams' Justice League Dark may receive spin-off series on HBO Max.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well.
yeah, to all of it.
Well, this is just weird for me. First of all, please stop hitting me over the head with the J.J. Abrams. Please stop. Please. For first of all, second of all, if you're going to make Justice League dark, well, of course Swamp Thing's going to be in it. I mean, what? I mean, what? Anyway, um, and they already tried to do the Swamp Thing, and I kind of liked it, but they pulled the plug on that shit quick, dude. So what the hell are you doing? HBO Max, Warner Brothers, AT&T. What's going on?
They've swallowed the pill.
They have. I want to ask you. I kind of wish Booster was in here for this conversation, but because I know you don't, you like comic book related stuff, but you're not really a big comic book reader. So with
Not
Swamp,
anymore.
yeah, not anymore. But do you know Swamp Things? They say Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, maybe.
No, not really.
Okay. Now,
He just never interested me as a character.
I was a big fan of Swamp Thing when I was young,
Hmm.
because it was a really good horror book. It was kind of a throwback to those old horror books of the 50s and stuff, right? And 60s. And that's what it was, and that's Alan Moore had done that as well with his version, and it was a lot of fun that way. And that the TV show that they came out with and canceled almost immediately was taking that vein. It was very horrific. It was a horror story, as it should be. But recently, with the green and all that kind of stuff, they've kind of turned Swamp Thing into a god, basically. And they've taken away, I feel, a lot of what he was. And I'm kind of hold on a second. Ooh, had to sneeze. They've taken away a lot of that edge. As you can see
Yeah.
here, we have some god-like Swamp Thing, and I'm kind of curious what other comic book readers think because I don't like it. I like him being just old Swamp Thing and the kind of horror aspect of it. I don't like this whole God of the Green thing. But I don't know. You guys give your opinion. But for me, this is more about. God, please stop with the J.J. Abrams. Please stop. Please, please, please.
No, they're not going to, because unfortunately people flock to his movies.
Do they?
They do. They do.
I guess it's going into the stupid thing again. I don't know.
There is one resource that this world will never seem to run out of, and it is stupidity.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. 18 hot dogs for a reference. Booster. 28 boosters. I don't know what you're doing, John, but you guys go. You're having a conversation over there. Now I'm going to come into just a kind of a bunch of Hollywood type movies and stuff that are going on. So let's just roll through this. Go ahead.
Mortal Kombat producer attempts to clarify Johnny Cage comments. He made comments about Johnny Cage?
He did, and they were very clear. He was like, well, because people are like, where's Johnny Cage? They have all these other characters. Where's Johnny? Right? Everyone else is in there. Sonya's in there. You got Jax. You got everybody else. Where's Johnny? Well, he came out and said, well, we really didn't think it would be a great idea for the hero of our movie to be some white guy. Uh huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he
Yeah.
tried to backpedal it. And he was saying, "Oh, well, we have plans for Johnny later. You see, we have plans for Johnny, and yeah, maybe you do, if you make money off of this one. But you're hurt. You're shooting yourself in the frickin' face, aren't you?
Well, I mean, Johnny Cage shouldn't be the hero of the movie anyway.
Yeah.
Liu Kang
Why?
should be.
That's what the same thought I had. Why would he?
What are we doing?
Why is he the hero? Why can't you have Johnny in there? It's just because they didn't want a white man.
Yep.
That's what it is, plain and
Yeah.
simple. So there you go. That trailer looked great, but if you go and watch Mortal Kombat, now you are supporting anti-whiteness because that's exactly what he said. And he even came back and clarified what he said, and then try to soften it a little bit. But he didn't say no, I didn't say that. He's like, I said that, right? So that's it. Johnny Cage is not in it simply because they don't want a white man, because they don't want him to be the hero. Why does Johnny have to be the hero? Make Jax the hero. You can make anybody you want the hero. That doesn't
Well,
matter. Right?
you could just make the Asian guy the hero, the
Yeah.
actual star of the franchise, the hero.
Star, the actual who is actually an Asian. That's right. Yeah, Liu Kang. Yeah.
Who, I mean, as far as I know, nobody hates Liu Kang. I love Liu Kang. I think he's awesome. But most Mortal Kombat fans, I don't think anybody hates Liu. I don't think maybe there is. Maybe there's this deep-seated well of hatred towards Liu Kang for some reason. But I've never seen it. I think
No.
most people are just like, yeah, Liu's pretty cool.
Well, he is the hero of the story.
Yeah,
He is the
exactly.
main guy, not Johnny. And I've never been a big fan of Johnny Cage anyway, but I mean, it's not the point. He's not the hero. And this statement of his was simply trying to cover up that they didn't want to have a white dude in the movie. They got a white girl. That's enough. Should be enough for you. We gave you your
Mm-hmm.
whiteness. It's a woman. Hear them roar. White racist people. Yeah, and a lot of people like Johnny. What's it going to hurt you to put him in the lineup like you put everybody else in the lineup? What's the problem, right? And as we had just said, if you know anything about Mortal Kombat, Liu Kang should be the hero anyway.
So much so that in the recent game, because they introduced a bunch of new characters in the one before it, and it didn't really get over, The characters didn't. They kind of flopped as characters, at least in my opinion. And I think the fact that they erased them all in the new game kind of proves that I was correct. They basically rewrote the entire timeline to make Liu Kang the hero again, because people wanted Liu to be the hero because we like Liu Kang.
Well, he
What's
always was the
what's the
hero.
problem?
Yeah. And they have the new guy. If you watch the trailer, it's got this half Thai guy. He's going to be their hero, and it's like, okay, fine. What's wrong? Okay, and I mean, you don't want Liu
Whatever.
Kang to be a hero, fine. Make your own, your own mulatto thing that you're, because clearly race matters to you. But still, why isn't Johnny in there? And not in there because he's a white guy and they don't want it. And it's
Yeah,
ridiculous because the trailer looks good, man. It looks pretty good.
yeah. It does look good. It's just get used to it. It's not going away. I think it'll start to peter off, whatever the word is,
Mm,
soon within the next couple years, where it'll just you know kind of fizzle out a little bit.
yeah.
But as far as this attitude of white men shouldn't be in things, it should apparently aren't even allowed to direct anything, according to Olivia Munn. That's not going away. This whole attitude's not going away.
No, it's not.
And the only way it's going to go away is if white men stop being pussies and stand up for themselves as a unit. Because they're going to keep making you a unit, one entity of white men. So it's time to stop with this. Oh, I'm not a white person. I'm a person. No, not to them. You're not.
No,
To the
you're the enemy.
communists,
Yeah,
you're the enemy.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. And speaking of units, Salt Peter Out is referencing Salt Peter, which they
Yeah.
give the military to bring their sexual libido down, so they don't go
Yes.
raping all the locals. So when you're petering out, your member is becoming flaccid. That's what
Oh
that
no,
is. Yeah.
that's not what anybody wants.
Yeah. Well,
Nobody asked for that.
I'm giving you the historical reference of the expression "Peter out." Yeah, there you go. I helped the world today.
Wait, is that
Uh,
why they call them Peters?
Maybe.
Is that
Yeah,
why we call penises Peters? Because that would be hilarious.
it probably is. Yeah, that's probably exactly what it is. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get into a couple of superhero related things that dropped recently. Let's just say that. Go ahead.
Audience scores revealed for Disney's The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Now, did you
I
watch
have not
that?
watched that yet.
I have.
No.
I did.
I don't think I'm going to either. They had their chance with WandaVision to impress me and they didn't.
Fair enough.
So I'm done.
Fair
That
enough.
was it. That was literally and the only reason I even gave that a chance is because you kept saying it was dog shit. I was like, it can't possibly be that bad. So I went and watched it, and then the third episode hooked me. I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're doing something cool here. And then the last episode, no, they didn't. No, nothing.
When are you
I
going
mean,
to learn to
didn't
trust the Chester?
happen. Well, you were wrong for about 6 episodes in the middle, but or 5 episodes in the middle, and then the last episode. I mean, it's not a bad episode. The action and everything's fine. It's just nothing really happens.
Well, it's
Like there's
exactly.
no real.
Well, yeah, but it's exactly what we said it was going to be. It's Wanda dealing with her sadness over the death of Vision. We said that
Yeah,
before it even came out. We said that's probably what it's going to be. And the only thing we were wondering is where they're going to tie the House of M into it, and it looks like they're not doing that either. But it's exactly what we thought it was going to be. So and the first 2 episodes were bad. I was like, nope. My wife too. We're out. We did watch this though. And here's the
hmm.
thing I would say about this. I'm not going to give any spoilers whatsoever. However, it's 1,000 times better than WandaVision. Now, does that mean it's good? It's okay. It's fine. It's kind of like falls in the popcorn Marvel movie middle. It was fine, but it's way better than WandaVision. Way better, right? And they only got 1 episode, and the only thing I worry about with it is this: Anthony Mackie seems like a nice fella. I don't have anything against him whatsoever. He just has no charisma. He's not interesting. He's just a bland, background character. He's fine for that. It's kind of like, people like Scarlet, the lady who plays Scarlett Johansson, the lady who plays Black Widow and stuff. They're good in that background supporting role, but they're not good up front. However, the guy who plays Bucky, what's his name? Sebastian Stan. He's a much
Yeah.
better actor. He's much more interesting. Um, I'm just not sure yet which where the focus of the show is. If they focus on Mackie, it's going to drag. If they keep them together because they haven't got them together, they will. And you have Sebastian Stan being able to kind of help and Mackie doing the support thing. It could be good. It could be good. But they really want Mackie to be his own thing, and he just ain't got it, dude. He just
Well,
ain't
he's
got it.
Falcon. Like, come on. He's he's not a star character. He's just
No,
not.
he's not.
Not
And
in the
and
not in the comics, not in the movies. He's a second or third character even in the movies he's in.
yeah.
Like he's just it's and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being that. But
No,
trying to make him
he's
something he can't be, he doesn't. Mackie doesn't have the charisma for. He's probably a fine actor, but I've never seen him in anything else, so I don't know. But he doesn't have the
he's
charisma to carry a leading
he
role. He
doesn't.
just doesn't.
Yeah, he's mediocre, and I don't want to be mean to the guy. He seems like a nice fella. I'm just saying that I don't know how it's going to go forward. I wish him the best of luck, though. That's the way I'd put it, because it looks like it's going to be fun, and that should be good. And Bullet Ninja says, "Flaccid Member is the name of my new punk band." Awesome, dude. But the other problem you have is ultimately we're going to, as you can see by the suit, the red, white, and blue. Of course, he does work for the military, the government, but they're going to give him Cap Shield. He's going to be the new Captain America. But the problem with that is, and the same problem with the comic book is, Falcon is just a man, right?
Yeah, he's
And
just a
he
dude.
was well, he can't effectively use the shield. I mean, did we forget that Captain America is superhuman?
Yes.
I mean, he can what he does with that shield is because of his power, his heightened agility and senses. That's how he makes the shield effective. Otherwise, it's just a shield, and they showed in the trailer him throwing around and doing stuff with the shield, and it's like you just don't. He doesn't have any super ability to make the shield useful. It's just a strange choice. It's all woke nonsense anyway. But
He has the one ability that matters most, Chester.
yeah.
He's black.
He is. Uh, his sister in the movie or the TV show, she's like a different race of black. I don't think these Hollywood progressive types understand that there's more than one type of black. I don't think they
No, they
fully
don't.
understand
They,
that. Yeah.
no, they don't got
She
time for that.
no,
They
well,
need the virtue signal.
she's very Nubian, right, in her facial structure, whereas he's very like Northwest African in his facial structure. Of course, he's a mulatto, and in truth, he's mixed for sure. But
Yeah.
they're not even the same race, but yet they're brother and sister. I've been seeing this a lot lately. They don't seem to care about trying to make a cohesive family. Modern Family is another good example of that. That family in there with the stupid boy and the two girls. My wife loves that show. They're not even the same race at all. None of them. They're all different races. They can't come out of those two people. Now, I guess the question is, does that matter though? It just takes me out of the immersion. It takes me out of the immersion when I see that. It's like, why didn't you try harder? But does it really matter though?
Nah, it depends. It depends how glaringly obvious it is. If it's really obvious to like a normal person, then probably. Then probably. If it's not, then no.
Are you picking on my anthropologicalness again?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I would probably notice it too, just because I notice those things like when they have an obviously Italian person playing, I don't know, Mexican or something. It they're similar in appearance, but they're clearly not the same race, right?
Mhm.
They're obviously different, different beings, different types of human beings, and it's kind of the same thing that they do with black people all over Hollywood, right? They just, oh, you got the right skin tone, yeah, but
They all
my
look the
face and my
same.
bone structure is completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, that's part of my problem, I think, because when I look at a person, the first thing I'm looking at is their skull structure.
Yeah.
I'm just weird like that, I guess. But I'm always looking at structures first before I even see your face. I don't know, just years and years of training, I guess. But yeah, it was kind of weird. But I don't know. Fingers crossed, I guess. is what I got to say about it.
I
Uh,
might check it out if I'm gonna wait till this one's done though, because
yeah,
I'm
there's
not
probably
getting WandaVision again.
yeah, there's
That
probably
show, man, the longer it's kind of like Endgame. It's not as bad as Endgame, not even close. But it's kind of like that insofar as the further distance I get from it, the less I like it. Like
yeah,
I have no interest in going back and rewatching it. They killed all of that by just dropping a deuce on that last episode. Where it's not that it's a bad episode; it's fine, but just it's just so disappointing. It's a letdown,
it
right? It's
doesn't
like
go
they could have done
anywhere.
so much more,
Yeah.
and they just left it. Like, ugh. It's like like, have you ever made some food, right? And it's
Hmm.
like one of your favorite kind of foods, but
Hmm.
just something goes wrong when you're cooking it for whatever reason. So you go to eat it, and it's just like, ah, it's
Yeah.
okay, but
Yeah.
it's not as good as I wanted it to be.
I did that the other day. I put too much salt.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
Dave says, Chester, do you read Bump's Lymphology? No. I suppose I could though. Yeah, I've actually have read a book on it. But anyway, the only other thing I thought was kind of dumb, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Why isn't it Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I
It
don't
just
know.
bugged me. It just the
Yeah, that's a
Falcon
much
and
better.
the Winter Soldier. What? Just
Too
Falcon and
many
Winter Soldier.
thes. Too many thes. That doesn't sound good phonetically.
No, it doesn't sound good. It's not wrong. It just doesn't sound good.
Right. And that's
And
very important
it
in a
does. It
title.
is very important. But my fingers are crossed. But you let me take. I'll take this. I'll bear this cross. You did the
Yeah.
WandaVision one, so I'll
I
bear
hope
this
it's
one.
good. I want it to
Yeah.
be good. I
So do I.
like Anthony Mackie. I really like Sebastian Stan. I wish Disney would do more with him because I think he could be something a big star for them if they actually gave him the right role, like
He's Luke,
Luke
dude.
Skywalker.
Yeah.
But I liked him in The Winter Soldier. I liked
Yep.
him in Captain America. I
Yep.
liked him in Civil War. I liked him in everything he's been in for MCU. So I hope it's good because I think
Yeah.
he's a good actor. I like the Winter Soldier character. Bucky's a good character. He's the best villain they've ever made besides Thanos. As far as in his movie, he was threatening and imposing, and something that took all of Captain America's ability to handle.
Yeah.
Uh, and he really didn't even handle him. He ended up saving Captain America at the end of the movie.
Yeah, he did.
So
That's right.
I think that there's a lot of potential with that character, and I think he has potential as an actor. I think he can do something impressive, and he has really with Bucky. I mean, but when Bucky first shows up in Captain America, I kind of don't like him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't dislike him, but I don't like him.
Yeah.
And then he just grows on you. Even as a villain, you start to like him more and
Yeah.
sympathize with him
That's
more
true.
because of his
It's
performance.
true. It is. Camp Canada says Sebastian Stan's best role was in Hot Tub Time Machine. There you go.
I didn't know
Uh,
he was in that.
yeah. Arlene's not going to check out WandaVision. Yeah, it's not really worth your time, I guess. If you just want to see the little pretty lights and explosions, go ahead.
Yeah.
But fingers crossed for this one. We'll see what's going on. Do keep in mind it has one of every color syndrome, and there are not allowed to have any attractive women whatsoever. It's Hollywood.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Lovely.
last but surely not least. Ooh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right. Are we doing spoilers or not?
Let's not do spoilers per se. Let's just talk
Well,
about our
the
opinions.
reality is they're not that much different. So if
No.
you've seen the other one, you kind of got the gist of this one. I will say personally, I think this one, and it freaking better with 4 hour runtime, is far better laid out than Whedon's cut. But I mean, again, it's got a 4 hour runtime. He's got plenty of time to do it. So there'd be literally no excuse if it was a complete garbled mess narratively. And I don't think it is. I think it's narratively superior, but it asks a lot of questions that I don't know. I don't want answered. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's at the end there. I don't want to see that. I have no interest in that storyline. I
Nope.
think it's stupid,
Nope.
and I really don't want to see Snyder do it. I have no interest in it.
No. God, no. Please, no. Um. Uh, all right. I'm going to give my opinion, and probably not going to be a popular one. Here's the thing. I'm still trying to understand which is worse, the original Justice League or this one. Yeah.
Hmm.
Narratively, you're 100% right because in the original movie, those comic book fans, us, we know what's going on, but the
Yeah.
mainstream audience has no clue what the hell's happening because they had
Right.
no story whatsoever. This does give you all the story you need, and that's done well. So there you
Yes.
go. There's a check. That's a plus for the Snyder Cut. Here's where we start to bog down. First of all, this was clearly put together by Snyder and his people to be an episodic, I'd say 8 episodes. But
Hmm.
somewhere along the line, after episode 6 or so, they just kind of muddled themselves and just threw it all together as if they were in a hurry or something.
Hmm.
And then they just put it all together as one block. So it's like, why did you bother doing that? They even have points where you can see it's cut as if it was the end of that episode, right? Little 30-minute
Yeah.
episodes. So that's a mess. Clearly, that's just an editorial mess, right?
Yeah.
Aside from that, the choice of music in this movie, I swear to God, I want to kick someone in the balls.
Yes. It's terrible.
It's really
Uh,
bad. It's like,
the
what the?
only good song is still, in my opinion, Wonder Woman's actual theme. Not the weird little like chanting that they play when
Yeah,
she
no,
starts
the
doing
actual.
things, but the actual theme is fantastic with the
But they,
cello or the bass or whatever it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
So good.
But they hide it underneath noise, and it comes
Yes.
in at the oddest times, right?
Yes.
The sound construction on this is far from Danny Elfman. Just understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not good. And just the choice of songs out of nowhere. There's like a folky country type of song out of nowhere for Aquaman. It's like, what? My wife laughed out loud.
Yeah. It just starts playing. And you're like,
Yeah.
what?
What?
What's going on?
Huh? What?
You
So
think
this,
there's like this big moment's about to happen, like it's leading to maybe it's leading to something, right? That's why it's playing. No, not really. Just starts playing when he's
no.
doing something and then just stops. Oh, okay.
Well, my wife made a observation, which I had seen as well, and I chose this particular picture because there were others I could have chose because it plays on the point that she made. There are many times where they want them lined up, perfectly spaced apart in the pose mode. This happens a
Yeah.
lot. It happens an awful lot, and Avengers did it as well, but they did it in a kind of cool way.
Mm.
But this is just like the hero moment. That's what that is, right? Um,
It's just Snyder being the hack that he is.
yeah, and that's what it
He
comes
does
down
that a
to.
lot.
Well, that's what it comes down to, dude. Because there are moments in here that aren't bad. It's good. It's good. The story is narratively definitely better, but there's good story points in it. And then all of a sudden, it becomes a really bad CW show. Right?
Mm.
It's all over the place as far as that goes. And there was a lot of stuff with the Atlanteans and the Amazonians that they cut out of the original version for good reason. And he
Mm.
put it back in. My God, the Amazonian thing was hard to watch, dude. That was hard to watch. It was
I will
so
say this:
cringy.
it's not even really a spoiler, but there's a part where Steppenwolf is basically fighting the Amazonians, and
Uh,
he just starts yeeting horses. And it just, I know it's supposed to be like dramatic and actiony or whatever. I just started cracking up. I
yeah.
don't know why. It's the way he does it. He just like flips them. They just go flying. I broke for like 2 minutes. It just killed me because it was so unexpected. I wasn't expecting him to just start flipping horses around, but he does,
He
and
does.
it's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. But actually, the one that made me laugh out loud in that scene was Hippolyta's 10-second power slide. Slow
Yeah.
mo, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, here's the biggest problems is the Snyderisms.
Yeah.
Way too much slow mo.
Way too much.
Um,
You
I
actually
want someone
are bothered by it. Yeah.
I want someone to explain to Hollywood what super speed is, because it's not time distortion or stopping time. That's not what it is. So stop making it look like that in your movies. And
Well,
then the worst part is there's another part where they show Flash being Flash, and they don't do the time stuff, and it's just super speed, and it looks great. So I
yeah.
don't understand why we had to lean on this crutch every single time Flash goes to do something. It just super, everything stops
Yeah. Well,
every time,
there
even when
is
he's standing still. Like what?
that's true. That is true. But I understand how they're trying to display him, and the Flash does have the ability to reverse time, but that's not what Thunder is talking about. He's talking about
Yeah.
how Flash is presented as he's kind of walking in a slow world, which I get what they're doing. The problem was we got a lot more Ezra Miller. Not a good
Oh
thing.
God.
Not a good
Never.
thing.
Never a good thing.
He is the most annoying little thing. You just want to throw him off a building or something. I
Yeah.
mean,
And
he's so
the other
annoying.
thing that annoys me about this movie is, and this is also kind of a Snyderish thing and just a Hollywood pretentious head up their ass thing, there's way too much voiceover. Way too much. There's too much exposition in the
Yeah,
form of voiceover and narration.
yeah,
It happens like 5 different times, and it's just too much. I got bored. I'm just like, oh my god, can we stop with this? Especially since poor Gail, who isn't the greatest actress on the
yeah.
planet.
That was
Sorry, Gail,
insane.
you're beautiful,
Yeah,
and I love you,
yeah,
but you shouldn't be given 10 minutes of exposition to
yeah.
yourself.
And I'm going to spoil that a little bit, just slightly. And it's not really a spoiler, but they did add a thing, and I'm going to cover. I want to talk about what you're talking about right here, specifically Gal Gadot. She's not a narrator. It was horribly
No.
painful, dude. And what they could have, this
Yes.
is how they could have solved it. This is just little bit of intelligence that could have solved it. She basically went into this little secret chamber and she saw the history of the fighting of Darkseid from the past, laid out in illuminations across the wall. All right, fine. So we're bringing Gal up the one to one up the speed, no problem. All right, and then she is explaining everything she now knows to Bruce, right? And all well and good having that narration in there. It helps. It does help the storytelling. But what they could have done is
Hmm.
this: she goes in, she sees the room, and she finds like a scroll made of gold or something like that. And on it, it is listed the words of Zeus. Zeus is documenting
Yes.
because he is in the fight. He's there, and he's pretty
Yep.
cool, kinda. And then it could have started with Gal reading it, and then it could have switched into this awesome narrator voice being the voice of Zeus. Simple
Yeah.
solution, right? Because her that long ass narration, that's a long one, dude, really long, and her voice is horrible for narrations. Horrible, horrible. You can nitpick the hell out of it. There's a lot to nitpick. It's 4 hours, dude. It's 4 hours.
Yeah. I'll
Um,
say this: even though it was 4 hours long, besides the part with the too much narration, it wasn't. It didn't, for me anyway. It didn't feel like a slog, at least through most of it. And the only reason is because Zach is not afraid of the lore, and that's a
True.
big plus in my
That is a
opinion
plus.
for
That
him.
is a plus. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And you're right, John. That's exactly what it was because Quicksilver scene was the best thing ever. That's exactly
Yeah.
why. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that kid who played Quicksilver is literally a million times better than frickin' Ezra Miller. God,
Yeah.
he's so annoying. I've
He's
never
on.
wanted
He's
to murder
insufferable.
like a human more.
He is absolutely insufferable throughout, and it never gets better. Like
No,
you may be like, okay, he'll start off that way, and then over time he'll become, it'll settle down. He'll mature a little bit around all the other here. Nope,
no,
nope, doesn't
no, no, no.
happen.
And the bad thing is when you're in a scene and he's not the one talking, someone else is talking or something else is going on, pay attention to him in the background, what he's doing. He can't
Yeah,
stop moving, which I guess makes sense for the character in a way. But it's just watch what he's doing in the background. He's annoying as shit. I mean,
yeah.
I really didn't think I hated Ezra Miller as much as I do, but I
And I
really
will
do.
say this: I still like Aquabro. I like the whatever you want to call it, the rebranding, rearranging of the character of Aquaman. For it, I mean, it's just because of the actor who's playing him,
Yeah, yeah,
but I
yeah.
like it. I think he
Yeah,
is believable. He's fun. He's cool. He freaking rides a parademon like a skyboard for a minute, and that's awesome. Like, come on, that's all I need from Aquaman. I don't need the great deep lore of Aquaman personally.
yeah.
I just,
I can't forgive him not being Lobo, dude. I can't.
yeah, he
He's
would
just
be. Oh, he'd be
perfect,
a way better Lobo, though. You're
perfect.
correct. Yeah,
But
but as Aquabro, I'm okay with it.
I have nothing to knock on Aquaman. I don't have anything to knock on Gal. One Woman, I think she was fine.
Yeah,
It's just the narration, which she just did with her saying. The redo with Superman was great. Although they did take away a bit of his glory at the end, but no spoilers. Batman still sucks balls because it's Ben Affleck. Flash, they just get rid of him. However,
Yeah,
here is a big positive: the cyborg story. He did that right. That was good.
he
That
did
was a
it
big
right, but
part.
what's his name? Fisher Parker. What's his name? The guy who hates everybody who is white. I
Yeah,
guess I
Fisher.
don't know what his
Yeah,
problem is. He's not a good actor. He's just not. And for some reason, they painted his face with not with the cyber makeup, right, with the green screen stuff, but the other side of his face. It looked to me like he was going to do drag. He had so much makeup
he
on.
did. He
It was
did. Yeah, he did.
ridiculous.
Um, yeah, and yeah, I agree, but I just think the overall story stuff with the cyborg was well done.
Yeah.
He is kind of boring, but he doesn't do much. He's an angsty, angry boy. That's his whole thing. But was definitely a plus. But see, the thing is, if I'm sitting here adding it up against that Jekyll and Hyde, mismatch patchwork crap that Josh Whedon ultimately put out with Justice League, I really don't think this is better. I really don't. It has some better points, but it's got worse points. And
Hmm.
I certainly don't think it's going to help them move the series forward. And in a way, I don't want them to because we're not going to talk about
Yeah.
spoilers here, but I don't want what they want. I
No.
do
No.
not want that,
Mm-mm.
dude. No
Mm-mm.
way.
And I
No
have
way.
everybody I've talked to who's seen it agrees. No, they're like, no, we don't.
No.
I'm not interested. I Here's what we all want. Every single fan of comic book movies that I have talked to wants to see Henry Cavill just be Superman.
Yeah, that's it.
For Christ's sake, just let him be Superman. Stop
Jesus.
with the edginess. Stop with the nonsense of killing him randomly at the end of a movie it didn't belong in, and just let him be Superman. Please, Hollywood, just give us one or two decent Superman. I don't even want good anymore. I will take decent Superman movies at this
Yeah.
point, with Henry Cavill being a wholesome Boy Scout esque Superman.
Yeah,
That's what I want.
please. Yeah. The only person that could fix DC is Rob Liefeld. Yowza, don't start fights with me, brother. All right. But
No, I'm
last
gonna tell
thing,
you right now. I was thinking about this because this is how much I want a wholesome Superman. There's only one writer in comic-ish, and he's a mangaka, but there's only one guy who I would give the reins to make a great story or screenplay for actual Superman movie, and that is the guy who does My Hero Academia.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
he could do Superman justice.
I think
I
he
think
would.
if you've seen the story of All Might, which is what he's aping, is Superman,
Yep,
it's unbelievable. It gets it. It gets all of it. He gets the entire character, even in a pseudo parody of it.
yep.
I think he could actually give you a story with Superman that everybody would love, and he would be Superman.
Yeah, it's a parody, but it's a better Superman than we've been getting. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
for years,
Um,
by the way.
yeah, for years. Now I got to run. I got a very busy morning, so I got to go. But I do want to make one last comment on this before we wrap it up. I did not know, Thundero, that it was
Hmm.
possible for Jared Leto's Joker to be worse.
Yeah, I didn't either, but
Yeah,
they managed it.
they did.
They sure did.
They did.
He looks like a 14-year-old boy. His
Uh,
face is so small. I think I'm looking at a child when he's on screen.
yeah, and I don't know what's going on with his face and his teeth, but it's just the acting. Jared Leto was born to never be Joker. That's the reality of it.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Just please, for the love of God, no more Jared Leto Joker.
please.
I almost, as much as I actually did enjoy it, just because I'm a lore nerd, DC lore nerd. I think they have the better lore than Marvel, personally. Um, I don't want what they're setting up. I
No.
don't want to see it. I've seen it in video game form. I've seen it in comic book form, and I didn't really like it either time because it's just not what I wanted. I want to see the literal opposite of that.
Yep. No,
That's what
I
I want.
agree. So I hope this bombs horribly and they don't get to do anymore
Yes.
because it's
Yes.
but I have given it my honest opinion on it, and I'm sure you guys have an opinion as well. But and that whole Joker thing is a post credit scene that's not post credit. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm really I just can't believe excuse me it's we hated Jared Leto, goodness gracious, in Suicide Squad.
Hmm.
He sucked as a Joker. Dude, it's 10 times worse. It's
It's
10 times
considerably
worse.
worse. Yeah.
And it's shocking. It's shocking. Uh do
Like
not let that
he
guy anywhere near Joker, please.
he's almost a bad parody of Joker. He's like a guy cosplaying as Joker,
Yeah.
but doing worse than most cosplayers.
Yeah. It's goodness gracious. So I'm still kind of up in the air. I don't know what to think of it. It probably would require another viewing. I ain't doing it though. Screw
I
that.
think I think what gets me, what turned me from just being like, okay, whatever to it, to, oh, this was actually pretty awesome, is about that last 40-minute stretch, which is basically just all action except for the stupid epilogue scene.
Yeah, we'll cut that
Um,
out. Yeah.
yeah, and the whole fight, the final fight with Steppenwolf, and everything leading up to that,
Yeah, it was
and
good.
then
It
you
was
get
good.
the nice dark side stuff, and it's just all good shit. I mean, that's all you can call it. There's no real flaw in it. It's logically consistent throughout. It's fun, which is kind of what superhero movies should be, a
Yeah.
little bit fun, and yeah, I have no problem with it
That last bit was
at the
fun.
end.
And
Yeah,
now I want to ask you a question before we get out of here. Um, did you get Warhammer vibes out of that Dark Side scene?
a bit, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and I didn't hate that at all, to
No,
be
I
honest.
didn't either. I was like,
But
all right, all right.
I love Darkseid. I think Snyder, he did great with Darkseid. What we got of him was
It was
fantastic from
perfect. Yeah,
beginning to
it
end.
was perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, there's our opinions on stuff. It's pretty typical nonsense, Hollywood nonsense, or dipshittedness, a word I created. TM. We got to go. I'm already late. I should have left 17 minutes ago, but here we are. Anything to end us on here, Thunder?
nothing at all. We will probably, maybe if Chester's not too busy, see you guys tomorrow.
Oh, we will. We'll definitely see you tomorrow. Absolutely. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Later.
Bye.